After running the chat room at greatstockpicks.com, I've been running that site since 2004, so we're almost in our 10th year. And it's dawned on me that there's a common mistake that probably should be addressed. And it's basically from newer traders. The thinking, the mindset in a lot of people that I talk to seems to be, hey, when you call a trade, you know, it's either going to work or it's not. I'm either going to get rich on this trade or I'm not. Okay? Nobody should be trying to get rich on any one trade. And I've discovered that a lot of people, are going all in. I'm going to use Monster Worldwide from, I think it was Thursday. I'm making this video on a Saturday. As an example, we had this gap up after earnings. And when it looked like this is an area where I said this could be turning up, especially when you see this next candle start to go up here. So this is an area that it's worth a shot. Now, here's the difference between a seasoned trader and a brand new trader, in my opinion, okay? Or a relatively new trader, or a trader with the wrong mindset is probably a better way to word it. Somebody trying to get rich, okay? They're going to go and say, I'm just going to go all in. That's different for different people. Mike said it looks good here, and it might be turning up. So I'm just going to go in, pretend they have a $25,000 account. They're going to go double margin or whatever, take 50,000 worth, let's just say 8,000 shares here. I'm going to take 8,000 shares. Well, if it ticks up a little bit and then it rolls over, they're risking losing a quick, even if it's just a dime, a quick $800, which is significant on a $25,000 account, okay? And they also run the risk of, let's just say this thing rolls over, and they've gone 8,000 shares right here. They run the risk of ending up, and it's fallen like this. Now they're sitting there with that deer in the headlight look, and they can't sell because they don't want to lose 800 or 1,600 or 2,400, right, if it keeps going down. They just say, I can't lose that. Now I've got to hold on. So why not? And here's what a lot of people just simply don't consider, especially newer traders. Why not nibble here? Now, amounts are going to be different for everybody, right? Somebody trading a $1 million account is going to be different than somebody trading a $10,000 account. But just for the sake of argument, why not nibble here, whatever a nibble is for you, okay? And that way you got your feet wet, and if it works, it works. If it rolls over even 15 or 20 cents, you're not in trouble, right? You kill the trade or whatever, and you're right back in the game looking for the next setup. Okay, so look what happens here. You nibble here. All of a sudden, you get this big pop through the high of the day. Now you can say, hey, Mike was right. This thing might really run all day. Okay, so you might want to sell some, or you might just say, hey, I'm happy. I took a small position. Looks like I'm going to do well on it, though. Okay, what happened to me here on this day, this was Thursday, I nibbled here, and then when it ripped, I started to feel good about the trade. So normally, I sell some into a spike. In this case, I didn't because, I was in it small. So now I'm starting to think, all right, this is really going to play out like I looked for or was hoping. So now I want to look for a way to add. Okay, so then when it came back down, and the market was weak, by the way, and it was meandering here, I told everybody that if this gets over this area right here, let me try that again. I'll use a line instead. If it gets over this area right here, in other words, 640, I'm going to add. Okay, so now I've got a nibble right here. I think maybe 612 is where I got filled. And I'm still sitting on that original nibble. Now I can go in big at 640 if it gets there because it's more than likely going to push through the high of the day again. In other words, more than likely my thesis was right about this thing being powerful today. So now I can take a much bigger position, and in a way, I'm buying free shares, right? Because even if I go big here, again, big is relative to whoever you are. I've got my smaller lot down here to bring my average down. So if I average up here, my new average, even if I go much bigger here than my nibble, all right, my new average is still not going to be 640, right? It might be 632, might be 635, but it's still basically free shares, right? It's a free add because I've got my original average, albeit small, down here around 612. So then 640 hits right there. And now I'm adding, now I've got what I deem for me a full position size. And then we get through the high of the day and we get this shape. And now I'm a seller, okay? So I got the free add. The original position was not dangerous. Keep in mind, the original position was about 10 minutes into the session, which as we all know can be whippy. And nobody really knows yet if MWW or XYZ or any other stock is really going to hold or if the market's going to tank. So it's what I call like a feeler lot, right? Little starter position. Then I got my free ad here, and then I'm a seller up here in a nice position. And I was able to do that because I started small and I didn't put any danger on my account. Okay, I could have nibbled here. It rolls over. I'm back out. Negligible loss. Now my feet are wet and my heart's pumping and I'm ready to take on the next trade. But I didn't put it all on the line just because somebody said, "Hey, this looks good here." Does that make sense? So nibble, free ad, or rolls over and I'm back out for a negligible loss. In other words, you start small. If you're right about your thesis, you can probably find a way to get big without really risking any kind of a loss because you've got a new average and things can work out and then you can manage it. So that's my best advice I can give to any new trader. Never bet the farm. Learn how to start with what I call feeler lots and see if you can't work your way up. If your thesis is right, end up with a nice position size, and then you can sell with nice size by getting your feet wet small early. Make sense? I hope so. We'll talk to you later.